No lingering. All right. Greetings, everyone. Welcome. I am back after missing a day yesterday to get my first dose of the Pfizer vaccine. I feel great about that. I feel great in general, so I'm not having any side effects today. I've heard that the second dose side effects can be a little more pronounced. And Hat informed me that my second dose timing is actually going to be right before the Strixhaven streamer preview. So that's actually good. It means like on Monday, I'll be taking Monday and Tuesday off, likely. If I'm feeling okay on Tuesday, we might do a prep for Strixhaven. And this is 2 weeks from now. I'm talking about the Monday and Tuesday ahead of the Strixhaven preview stream. And looking forward to that. And it'll be good timing. I'll get my vaccination finished up, take a rest, and then try out the new set with you all. Right now, we're trying out this core set mix-up. I'm fine with wacky for a little bit. I'll try any of this stuff for a time or two. In general, I'm a bigger fan of formats that have gone through rigorous game designing. You know, that designers have tested and tweaked and tried to make it the best they can before shipping out the door. Those are largely going to be better experiences. They're going to have stronger legs. You know, you're going to be able to have a lot more fun, a lot longer with sets that are designed for the purpose. But it can be fun to do these grab bags and see the interactions. That's the fun part of it, really, is finding the things the designers didn't intend, right? But often with this type of thing, to find the stuff the designers didn't intend, you also have to draft through and play through some non-synergies, some non-bows, some cards that are bad in context because of the lack of overall synergy between the sets. But it absolutely can be fun to discover unintended combos in limited. That's what I like doing about with this kind of thing. I'm also doing this on a side account. Usually I start on our main account, but with these sets, I've 4x'd them on my main account. So since I like collection building on my main account, I'm going to core set draft on this side account. That means I'll be able to build up my gold on my main account and use that gold when Strixhaven releases to draft Strixhaven. And therefore, instead of converting gold into pack gems by playing this on my main account, I'll be converting gold into Strixhaven cards on my main account by waiting a little bit. That's my plan here. Another plan for Strixhaven, of course, is to check out my sponsor, CardKingdom.com. They got their pre-orders going. I was just telling chat that I pre-ordered some of the now controversial Crux of Fate plagiarized art cards because I like collecting controversy in that way, but it doesn't have to be controversy you're going after. It could just be a sweet new card from Strixhaven that you're going after, and you got to keep an eye on these things. It's really interesting to see the community react to a new set coming out, and in terms of the value of the cards involved, because you know the big players are all trying to figure out, all right, we got to average this set out to about $100 a box worth of value. Where do we think that value is going to land? And then they're pricing cards kind of predicting demand, reacting to demand. It's a real rocky road as the big players look to nail down their pricing and pre-order pricing. But what it means is if you really want to get a card early, you got to pay attention and pre-order, because sometimes something becomes super popular, and if the big players miss the mark on predicting what it was going to cost, they can sell out their pre-orders, and then supply and demand becomes a huge issue on release, and you could be without the playset of whatever that you really need for your latest brew. So if that's the type of constructed player you are, and you're looking forward to getting back into the shops to play some tabletop Magic, be sure to get your Strixhaven orders in, pre-orders in early with Card Kingdom, so that you can make sure you have the deck you want to go to battle with, right? All right. Thank you so much, Card Kingdom, for all your support. Let's continue buying in with gems here and building up our gold stores in these accounts for possible big events later on. That's what I've been doing here, trying to build up my gold stores. Normally, I wouldn't do that. My default has always been Spend gold first if possible, because gold is the less flexible currency and gems are the more flexible currency. But the big change, of course, was the Arena Open, which had a gold buy-in that was a steep discount over the gem buy-in, like 25% off, basically, if you bought in with gold. So now I want to have gold stores to take advantage of those kinds of opportunities should they emerge again. I am noticing a little pain in my tooth, and I'm scared. I don't like it. What's up, tooth? I have some outstanding AMAs. One on 17 lands data. I think I'm gonna not get to that today. Again, I got super distracted on my vaccine hunt and really didn't get my homework done for that topic. So I'm gonna try to do that, get that homework done tonight, and we'll talk about that next time. First crown at 22. Aw, how adorable. Actually, I'm so sorry, Mama. That's rough. You don't want crowns at 22, folks. Baby's first crown. Valiant Knight. What do we got here? Other knights you control get +1/+1, and you can double strike knights. Is that worth starting with? I don't remember this being a thing, really. Vinemare was the thing. We drafted, like, Vinemare is really tough to deal with, especially if you can put one of those blue auras on it. So let's take the Vinemare, I think, since there's no like good removal. I mean, there's sleep was sleep pretty good here. Well, again, it doesn't. The formats are so weird with all the mix-ups, but we'll go ahead and take Vinemare. Another mare, if we wanted it. This is the Plague Mare. Can't be blocked by white creatures. When it enters the battlefield, creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. That's interesting, but if we're going to take a black card, we should take the Poison Tip Archer. It matches our green, and this, it looks unassuming, but this was a house, if I recall. You get in those spots with this card where it's like, oh, wait, I can't win now because even if I block, stuff dies and I lose, right? So yeah, we'll take that. Strangling Spores is good too, but this is even better than Strangling Spores, I think. And it's partially on color. We'll grab it. To do Archer, I got to go over here. Oh man. Here, we'll do this one.
Archer! 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 What? God!
Rejuvenator is at least on color and fine. We could do that. What else we got here? I'm going to sit on this for a second as I assess the other. Pegasus Courser is really good. Could get a Courser. I think it's Rejuvenator is at least on color, though. I think Courser is probably the best card here. I don't think Rise from the Grave is very good. These 5-mana sorcery reanimation, type spells, zombify type effects, they're just too clunky. Yeah, this G-Guards points out that the Rejuvenator cuts green, and we'd like to play out the first 2 picks if we can. And this helps us find our mana. Druid is good enough to keep to take here. I think Ramp is just good. And we can Druid into Rejuvenation into big stuff we draft later. I do like a Spark Tongue. If we wheel this, maybe it's a sign that red is a potential. I love the menace on this. You know, 4/2 for 4 is a classic bad limited card because it just at 2 toughness trades down all the time. Like 4/2s for 4 are almost unplayable in limited unless you just need to block with 4 power. You know, they're a better defender than attacker. But put menace on it, and I'm in, because now they got to put 2 on it. That's pretty good. We're gonna take Druid, but I just want to mention that I loved the simple French vanilla edition of menace on that card is a nice touch. You don't like Spark Tongue with the other core sets in the mix? Why not? I mean, it's just a question of ramping, right? You like the Macabre Waltz? I like Foul Orchard. This is a fine card, but I like casting my spells. I'm gonna take this and cast my spells. Here we go. This is effectively the now this is slightly better. Is it even better? Maybe it's worse. Like, this is worse than a 4/2 for 4, isn't it? I mean, you get the guaranteed 2 life, but the lack of 4 power just means that you don't trade with anything. Draconic Disciple, though, is an interesting grab. We only have the 1 black card, and check out what this does. I mean, you're ramping, and then you're making dragons, and we have a couple of ramp cards already, so I like where this is headed. And if Gruul is open, we could head there and maybe even splash the Archer on the Orchard. No green here to speak of, so we're looking at if we want to stick to like this Jund territory we're in, which I think we do. We can grab a Mind Rot or a Siegebreaker Giant. 5 mana, 6/3, trample. This might be good enough. I think it's better than a random Instigator here. And yeah, shave a mana off, and I'm much happier with a 4/2, right? 4 mana just is unacceptable, but you get to 3 mana, it's like, okay. Now, yeah, sometimes we trade down for a 2-drop, but then we're only down 1 mana of tempo as opposed to the 2, and just a better curve filler all around. And one of these sets was M21, where it has the 4 power matters, and that can matter for that. We've got a Manolith if we want to ensure, get more ramp and more fixing. Trumpet Blast. There is some go wide in red in this format, but not so much in the other ones. You like Stag? I remember Stag underperforming, and I also feel like we're pretty far away from white, but Manolith is pretty weak, so I'm willing to pick up the Stag, only because I don't really like anything here, but I doubt we're playing this. Child would be an okay spec too, but the Disciple coming when it did really makes me want to try and make the red green happen, and then another Foul Orchard is nice because it does help with that splash. Now we can try and be red green splashing the black. Tormenting Voice could help there, but I'll take it's one of these two, and we hope to not play either, honestly. But we are ramping enough that I'm going to take the 5-drop. Although also ramping is a reason to have Tormenting Voice. Oh, we're good on mana. Let's do that. Yeah, M20. Number 1, Krauser, first dose. We'll take Sure Strike for sure. Boggart Brute, also fine. This is actually almost signally that this is still here. This was, for similar reasons that I like Menace on the 4/2, I think this was a good one as well. Scorcher would have been a reason to pick up some of the go-wide support, but we have a Leyline of Abundance. Yeah, green rare, nice, says Billy Hoyle. Unfortunately, then we read it and realize it's not nice. You like this? No. I guess we have Mana Dorks, but do we? I don't think we want this. Yeah, I think I'm on Druid or Silverback or Scorcher. Silverback not busted good if you're being attacked by flyers. I have many memories of M20 where I had a Silverback Shaman on the ground saying, "Somebody kill me! Look at all those flyers. Whoa. Oh, we're dead." So, I almost want to go Leafkin. I'm going to take the Leafkin Druid because that's what I think is correct. And then keep the focus on the early ramp, and let's find a place to spend it. Scuttlemutt, playable. Smuggler, maybe better. Scorpion is fine. I think it's Scorpion, Scuttlemutt, or Smuggler, one of the S's. Smuggler is best when you're sneaking through some saboteurs that do something on damage or whatever. But yeah, let's go Scuttlemutt. It's kind of on the plan we're starting to develop. We need to push up our high end because we've got the ramp for it now. Oh, maybe this could be play in our deck. Are we okay with this yet? Let's see. 2 damage to our creatures. Lives, dies. I guess we have a lot of stuff that dies. Yeah, too much dies. Never mind. Yeah, well, it's a bad card unless you have some situation where, oh my god, I have no 2 toughness, right? If you have no 2 toughness, you can get away with it, but we have way too much 2 toughness to run that. We should run like Champ or Growth Cycle, not good enough here. None of these are good enough here except Champ. And Frost Lynx is good. Like we can think we might be in something past just Jund colors. Yeah, Vulture is okay, but I'm not looking to splash this. I would splash the Archer. I'll take Champ. There's enough token stuff going around in here that we may find that worthwhile. Legion's End was an excellent constructed card in its time because of handling the small stuff, or playable at least. But I don't think we splash this. It's not good enough removal to splash, I don't think. And yeah, we can do the Shaman or Leafkin Druid number 2. I will take, or a Boreal Elemental, if we want to continue looking towards splashing potentially. But we have some generic fixing, but yeah, we'll take the Gorilla. That's fine. We got a lot of rampers now, so let's get. I am pretty low on Shaman, yeah, but in its context, I think the Shaman was extremely swingy when it did its thing. Sure, but again, in M20, I lost to flying way too much to think that this was a valuable card. Or it's the fact that it was the death. Like, you look at this and think, but it dies into a card. Yeah, not when they put pacifism on it. Yeah, not when they just fly over your head and kill you. Yeah, not when they're just going so wide that by the time you drop down a 5-drop, you're just dead. So that was where I was at on this card. It was like, yeah, there are matchups where it was great, but all too often there were matchups where it was a 5/4 for 5, which is not acceptable really in today's green 5-drops. Soul Salvage is interesting. I'm going to take that last second. Maybe I should have taken the Brawler, but I was too busy talking about other stuff, so I just grabbed what was there. We take Thornwood Falls to potentially help Blue Splash as well. We've got Scuttlemutt and Tapland, but Flame Sweep, yeah, again, we have a lot of, as we looked, this was pretty rough on us, right? So, Netcaster Spider or Tracker even, we are ramping, and actually, I'm going to take Brightward Tracker, and the reason why I'm taking, like, you're right, Netcaster Spider is fine. It's not even fine, it's good. It's good, I like it. But we do have a Poison Tip Archer already, and we got all this ramp, and one of the problems you can have with a ramp deck is that you ramp to nowhere, right? You do all this stuff to ramp up, and then what are you spending it on? And Mana Sink, a 6-mana Mana Sink solves that problem quite well. Here we can get a Netcaster Spider anyway, or we can take a Scorcher. But I don't know if we're doing the Scorcher thing, really. Like, I think with, yeah, I like the spider. We're going to want to try to get bigger stuff. Oh yeah, Scorcher with Champ is a good point. Did I get it? I tried to switch, but it looks like we maybe got the... Did I get it? What did I even take there? I don't know. We took something. I guess it was the spider. That's all right. That a good call though on the tokens. It would have totally been acceptable. Wurstklaw, just a big old 7/7. No trample or anything. It has the relevant creature type elemental for this set, but across all 3 sets, I don't think there's that much going on with elementals. But we need some biggies, so I'll take it. And look, the Scorcher came back anyway. Geez. Infuriate is a maybe. Exactly. Sometimes just a 7/7 on turn 4 or 5 is just going to be more than our opponents can handle, so we'll put him to that test. Don't think we're going to play another Fire Elemental. I'll throw that on the board for now. Same with Abomination. Leafkin Lavakin Brawler comes back. I don't know how many elementals we have, but we'll do the math. Certainly taking that. And then we get a Thornwood Falls for the blue potential. Love it. Clean living. There's no other explanation. Clean living. Soul Seer, not a bad follow. Instant speed, 5 damage. Nice. Hound Master, but we got Drowsy Tea. Is this even good for us? Like, there's the in its context, in the M21 context, this was an incredible card because there were so many ways to make it attack. I don't know how many ways we've got here that we're happy about, but I'm gonna take it. Yeah, that's what I'm asking, but like, I mean, what's our other choice? We take a Cur. I bet we wheel the Cur with how things have been going. We take a Finishing Blow to have some splash removal. I bet we wheel the Cur. I'm going to take Drowsy Tea. I bet we can pick some stuff up to make it work okay. Yeah. There's a lot of support for it. There should be a lot of support for it in this pack if we prioritize it, although none of it here. I mean, Gnarled Sage technically gets the job done, but it's not really what we're looking for. I might even want to Pitchburn Devils. Replicator. What do we have to... Replicator's pretty hard in a grab bag situation. I guess we have 2 fire elementals, but I don't think that's the right pick. I think it's Devils or Sage, depending on, Sage works with the Drowsy Tea, but I think I'm going to take the Devils. Another thing to help with the red splash if we want it here, or the black splash, but Turret Ogre helps with the Drowsy Tea and is just a fine card. Also might wheel, and Bloodfell Caves would completely shore up our black splash, although our black splash isn't even that powerful right now. It's a Poison Tip Archer and a Soul Salvage. I like them both, but it's not like we're doing crazy good stuff. And yeah, but I think maybe we'll find some other black. I like shoring up the black. We could grab Skeleton Archer on that front. Don't know if it's worth it, though. We're not doing anything with white right now, so I don't like that. Secret Reach is a real ability there for sure. Not much else going on, so I will take the Skeleton Archer. Maybe it'll be worth it. It's surprisingly good. I mean, it doesn't always have a use, but when you can use its ping to generate a half card or card's worth of value, it feels great. Another Pitchburn Devils, Rise Again. We've already talked about Rise Again not really being a thing in Limited unless you're doing this whole set had the reanimation thing that was kind of interesting. But yeah, it looks like blue is open, although not these are incredible. Singer's okay, but nothing. Skimmer's okay. Nothing else is amazing. But at pick 7, yes, sure looks like blue is open. I'll take another one of these, though. Mauler, but we'll take a Dreadmaw. We need to add to our top end, and we're running out of time. So I'm actually really glad to get this basically last fresh pack here. Titanic Growth is playable. We have Pump already though, so but there's nothing else for us here, so we'll take this, see how it goes. I'm not taking the Sentinel. Sure Strike number 2. I don't think we need that many. Like we have the combat tricks here. The Cur did come around, so that's nice. We'll grab that. That'll make the cut for sure. Pump the Cur pre-combat. It could turn on the Pteranodon if you give it a couple pumps. Prismite. This is a side account. I don't even care about Vault Progress, so I'll take the Prismite. Arsonist. I'll take the Arsonist. It's not. I don't think we're not playing any of that. Not playing this. Not playing any of this. This seems pretty medium. We found a lane though, and we have a plan. Just seems like a medium plan, if you ask me. We got some good stuff though. If we can find our top end, we'll be fine. Rada is awesome. But top to bottom, I don't love our pile here. You see we're low on interaction. Look at this. We got 26-4. Probably want one of these devils gone. Both the fire elementals. I don't think we run a splashed archer for unknown value. If we were best of 3, I bet we'd bring that in a bit, but I don't know if we want to run it when we don't know how good it's going to be. Do we have enough ramp to go 16 in best of 1? We have Druid, Leafkin, Scuttlemutt, Disciple, and Rejuvenator. I think we can go 16 for sure. Cut this anyway. So if we're at 16, we actually only need to make 2 cuts here. You like a 3-mana French vanilla? I would cut Ogre before, well, I guess Ogre turns on the Pteranodon in a way that we don't want to cut, but I like the Brute quite a bit. I'm not going to cut the Brute. So I'm more on, like, do we have enough going on for the Brawler? Let's look at Elementals. Got the Scorcher. That's quite a combo. Yeah, Woodland Champ is mostly a 2-2. Is there anything besides Scorcher that's making it not a 2-2? Anything else making tokens? Not really. So we could cut it, but I also don't mind filling out the curve. I don't know. What do you think of the elemental component? Are we playing that Brawler? You want to cut a Draconic Disciple? Have you read the card? We're not cutting this. Oh, I see. You're not saying cut it. You're saying it makes a token. Good. Okay, thank you. So probably means we're not cutting the champ. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe we do keep the Scorcher, Lavacan, Brawler potential. It's not amazing, but with the Scorcher working with both the Lavacan, Brawler, and the champ, I kind of like keeping that. Although we also had some other combat tricks we could bring back in, given that we didn't end up with a bunch of removal. We could bring in this Titanic Growth and another Sure Strike to get more interaction. Might need to do that. It's combat-based interaction, but, you know, it clarifies, again, our plan of turn sideways. Maybe we just cut the Black Splash. And, yeah, Razor and I ditch the black at the same time. This is fine and helps close out a game. And it lets us cut all this tap land. that would slow us down. So I'm going to do that. And then we can do that. Oh, it's because I put some of these back in. So if we cut one Sure Strike, I think 3 combat tricks is plenty. And then we just cut one critter we don't like that much. Brute, Ogre. I'm not sure which of these is better. I like the Brute better in a vacuum, but we do have a Drowsy T. That's why it's a contest for me. And I want the Devil since we don't have much interaction. I guess we could cut Scuttlemutt since we're not... No, we don't have much to make Vorsclaw awesome, but it does work with the Brawler, and we're going to keep it just for being big. Sorry, I just had a text to check. It hurts our 16 land a little bit to cut one of our ramps. We still have the 2 at 2 and the Disciple and the Rejuvenator at 3. So yeah, we can cut the Mutt. Oh, that's true. Batmeme points out an interaction. I think we still make this cut, but it's cute that with Vinemare, you could basically make a creature that is not black be unable to block the Vinemare. A little bit of interaction, but not, we're not going to pursue it. I like just straight Gruul. Let's see if we got anybody redeeming blingy stuff. Nope, not yet. So we'll do an 8-8 split on the land. You could argue 9-7, but I do want... maybe it is 9-7. It's just that we really want that red on 3 at least. Mirage lands for Tron. Oh, wait. Look, my default... Oh, wait, we don't have Mirage on here. Sorry, Tron. That's because it's a side account time. So I'm going to reject Tron's basic lands and say, y'all probably don't want to redeem, not knowing that this account is a little less on the bling. But we'll throw in some full art anyway. And core. We'll call this a core sample. All right, let's try it out, and I'll see what chat thinks of our chances. "16 lands is intentional hammer. We have 16 lands, two mana dorks, and 3 mana dorks. On the play with a ramper and a 4-drop sounds good. Nothing to make this elemental really sing right now, but it does pump itself, so its floor is a 3/4. Gonna go with the Druid. Of course, we could do Drowsy T, but we don't really have a turn 3 play that makes it attack. And in general, play your ramp on curve unless you come up with a reason not to. You should be looking why I shouldn't play my ramp on curve. So we're really looking for a basic off the top now, so that we can go into Devils or Siegebreaker Giant. I guess if it's a forest, we can't do Siegebreaker, but any basic at least gets us a pitch burn. Dead Brawler. What's this? Whenever you become the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless its controller pays 1. Creature tokens get -1/-0. That's funny. We do have the Scampering Scorcher that is affected by this, but other than that, I don't care that Oppo is playing an amulet. Not a total blank, but blanky enough. Aw, you got your blanky. Stuck on colors. If we had an extra red, we could power out the giant. We don't. We do get to attack with both and have mana for Sure Strike and Pteranodon. So I'm going to... Well, we don't... Attacking with the Druid doesn't do much. They have a free block there, so I'm just going to send in the Devils. Oppo's stuck on 2, by the way, and we're not really pressuring them given the stuckness. We'll see if they find a land here. Deals and Dragons asks, did you used to be part of a local game store, or are you still part of operations? Target player loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. Well, Mangalore, I'm not sure what you're up to. This is a Mangalore has a decently high rank, but is playing some cards that I would try to avoid playing in general. I mean, that just feels like a win target game for us. Ugh, just a little bit short on our mana, but not as short as Oppo. We keep bashing in. I guess I could have... you could have made an argument to Sure Strike one of these so that the Pteranodon can attack, but... I don't think we should. They're going to have... If they find land, they're going to play a creature and be on defense, and then we'll use the Sure Strike. If they don't find land, we should be okay anyway. Could totally be collection drafting. That's possible, and they just ended up with low on playables. But even low on playables, I'd be surprised that you couldn't find something better than these. Thank you for that sub. All right, the right land indeed. We're going to play that. We could send in the Druid, but I think we want to play one of our big boys here. So we'll just send in... we'll play one of these first, and then we can attack with both, and they don't have good blocks currently. Let's go with just size. I don't know. What do you think? This is interesting. Dreadmaw... I guess Dreadmaw's better, so let's play the better one. Yeah, good point, especially with the known skeleton. Sipping at nothing. Always makes Ryan crazy. Oh, anyway, yeah, I've never been part of a brick and mortar store, but I do have a presence in Magic Secondary Market that I can show you here. Yeah, we're swinging away. So they're blocking there 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we get 11, 12, 13, and they're tapped out. Sounds good. Oppo got stuck on land and didn't really have much of a chance there. But also played some really weak cards with the mana they did have, so... Higby asks, any recommendations on selling old cards, power duels, etc.? If you just want to be done, you can sell to Card Kingdom, my sponsor, or you can sell to me. I match Card Kingdom. I say all the time that Card Kingdom is true. Card Kingdom has basically the best buy prices in the industry, and as someone who looks to acquire cards, my mindset is I need to compete with Card Kingdom, or else why would somebody sell to me when they could just sell to Card Kingdom? So I do buy at Card Kingdom prices. If you want to work with me, I'd be happy to take your cards. And like one of the things I have going for me, like I think you can trust me. Like one of the things if I offer is somewhat, you know, the whole, you don't even have to sort it. Just if you want to sell me something, throw it in a box, reach out to me, send it to me. I'll process it. I'll make you an offer, and I will break down exactly where the offer came from down to the card for you. So, or at least down to the card that's worth paying for. If you send me chaff and commons, I'm not going to document every single common, but I'll document every card worth buying and let you know exactly the breakdown. And again, it's going to match the best in the biz. So if you want to do that, reach out to me. If you have something super high value that you want to try to get more value of, you can also reach out to me. We can talk consignment. I can list it for you and pay you when it sells and take a little cut. So we can do that too. Lots of ways to turn your cardboard into cash, and I'm happy to help. Just reach out. I wouldn't mind a 2-drop here, but we're going to keep this on the strength of the quality of our cards and the mix of our mana. Oh, sorry, yeah. I got to get back here. So you can see how good this hand looks. Hey, Jim. Welcome. Well... basically, if you sell, I mean, I'm going to keep it. But it's almost like for the people who locally have sold me their collections, me taking the chaff has just been part of the service. It's like, oh man, you're going to take those cards off my hands and I don't have to deal with them anymore. Great. But basically, any card over a reasonable value, I will match CK dollar for dollar. And then if it's way under that, that's my gravy, right? Like, it's like, I'm going to match him on this, but I'm going to keep this part for me. Yeah, let me focus on the game, but yes, there's a lot of interesting uses for magic chaff. So this is always one of these interesting questions. Do we go for the Rada right away, you know, our best card in hand on curve, or do we bait with the Brute first and try to see if we can pull out some removal? Because Rada, I mean, the benefit of Rada first is that we start to get to play lands off the top, which could basically be drawing cards. But we can even do that next turn. We go Brute this turn. Next turn, we Rada before I play land. We might be able to get instant value out of Rada anyway. So I'm definitely going to start on the Brute now. And maybe they kill the Brute. But whether or not they do, the reason I like this play a lot is that we can still get full value out of Rada's land hunting, even though we didn't play it on curve. I just have to be disciplined and not run these mountains out before I play my Rada. Although, watch out for this, like... This could be countered, but I'm going to give it a try. Although we could also go Soulseer's an instant. I'm going to attack first, and they may give us a need to give us a reason to Soulseer. Big no on that, so we'll Rada. Uh-oh, pause. Gotta make him have it. They might counter Rada, but gotta make him have it. All right. No land off the top, so we'll go ahead and play this mountain. Yeah, it could be pause for Scry. We don't know what it's about. But with that open mana, I generally expect some sort of spell. If they spend their turn scrying, fist pump for us. Arcanist, thank you so much. Oh, I think I missed someone's resub. Who was that? That was like a 24-month or 26 months. I gotta tip the cap better than I did. Who was that? Raise your hand if you were the 20-some month resub, the over 2 years resub. I meant to say thanks and I remembered I didn't, but thank you. It's a while ago now. Scry 2, let's see what they do with it. This Infuriate's going to be awesome. Sure Strike coming up. If their plan is blocking, they are in for a rough one. Bottom, good to see also. Found a land off the top even. And we see Brawler coming. And we've got all the marbles here. We got a pump, we just got everything. We're going to swing in and see what they want to do. Yeah, this is nice defense against Red Burn, right? So we're definitely going to... Like, Sure Strike's only real purpose is winning combat. And this is interesting, too. Do we go... Because we could just pump and trade and accept that offer. But I think we go ahead and Sure Strike. Why not? Let's keep the Cur alive and keep the pressure on. Yeah, next turn Rada threat is great. Infuriate adds a couple of toughness. Unfortunately, this says 5, right? So they're going to get their dead Rada. Too bad. But we got lots of tools here. I mean, this doesn't go to face, right? But we might have it. Let's see. We get double pump. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, they did. All right. Oh, I didn't update my record. We're 2-0, right? Check dead.
He's dead, sir.
That man's dead back there. Must be dead. He was worse than dead. His brain is gone.
I'm nervous, gang. My tooth hurts. I don't like this. I'm gonna have to call a dentist today. It was Rob. Thanks, David. And thanks, Rob. Gotta mulligan this, of course. What to do here? I think we have to keep... We have Pteranodon on 3. If we find a mountain in a couple of turns, we get the Disciple for ramp. And I think we can give up the Scorcher here. Hey, Socks Girl. Sorry we're not drafting Kaldheim for you today, but I would point you to my YouTube channel if you want to check out. I've got a playlist of all the Kaldheim we've ever done around here. So lots to check out there. Wrong land, but at least a land. But yeah, if this were a mountain, ooh, get the Disciple here. No Disciple for us, though. Just hoping we find any land. I'll even take another forest if you want, deck, but give me something to get going here. Peggy! Ugh, brutal. Well, our turn to have a little mana luck of the bad kind. Yeah, you can show up early around here and vote, although today you would have been blown out. The core set mix-up here won out quite handily. Found our mountain, great. Super nervous about all of this blue, all this open mana and cards. It almost certainly means something is instant speed, but it doesn't mean it's a counter spell. You gotta try to apply pressure here. I could go Brawler, but we don't have the elemental support really. We have the horse. I'm just gonna go with the Vine Mare. If it gets countered, that's rough. That's too bad because it turned. But we're gonna at least give our Drowsy a chance to attack here. Okay. No pausing or anything. Maybe they just don't have. I guess they just don't have anything. That just. I mean, when you see a 2/2 split of 4 mana with 5 cards in hand, and it's and they're playing blue, you kind of expect it to not work out for them to do something. This is cool. We can swing in if they try to Boreal block. We have the Titanic Growth, which has no tax. The Boreal Elemental is one of the cards they referenced as a test balloon for the new ward keyword ability. So but the way they worded it is different. Anyway, this is just 2 more to cast. So without 5 mana, we can't even Soul Sear it if we wanted to, but we do have the Titanic Growth to win combat. So we're going to start there, fire, send in, and see what they want to do. Yeah, I don't know what the no attack is about, right? I guess they're just worried about our forces, but if they go for some complex double block here, the Titanic Growth is going to blow them out. And they're saying, nah, go ahead, we'll take it. That's fine by me. Because we can follow with, what? Disciple for the ramp or Brawler for the raw power. This will attack as a 4/4 with the Vine Mare. Yeah, I'm with Hammer. I think I like the Disciple. And we race. Although this, I mean, the racier card would be the Brawler. But I like the extra red if we want to do 2 red things. And I like the mana. I mean, we're a little stuck on mana. This on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 next turn could give us a Pitchburn Devils. If we find a land, we can go Brawler with Titanic Growth up. That's pretty appealing. Could even, if we find a land, just swing away with everything, including the Disciple, given that we have Growth and Soul Sear for blocks in that case. There's a couple that did that. There was a white-blue creature that 3-drop that pumped all flyers, and then there was an aura or an enchantment, and I think in one of the sets that pumped flyers, right? All right. Well, interesting play from Oppo. We are going to stick with our Titanic Growth protecting a big attack plan. If we send everything, they do have, quote, good blocks in terms of Pegasus on Pegasus and Boreal on Tranodon, but one of them will die. I think we still send in. Just making sure we're okay with pot. Like, there are some goodish blocks they have here, but we're still going to make them find those blocks, and then they're not even the worst for us, because trading their Pegasus, like, we'll let this Pegasus go, and then we get a dead Boreal Elemental, which is even more important for us. Oh, sorry, yeah. That's a punt. I'm doing my board control. Lethal's all good and everything, but how about controlling the board for another turn? Sorry, gang. You know me. It's one of my leaks, and it came to bite me there. Don't be like me. Keep your eye on life totals, Ryan. I need like a simple Homer dough. Oh! All right, some more mana. And the Soul Seer is nice. Soul Seer. We just go Soul Seer on the Disciple and crash in. Pegasus has no blocks. And then we could... yeah, that just seems fine. Pegasus becomes a forced chump. A pause. Let's see what they got here. It might just be the Disciple itself, though. Nice job on Oppo to find something to get some blocks here. Still not enough to kill the mayor, though, so... And now we're going to get a 2-spell. Oh, and I guess we don't have 2-spell, but... I'm going to go for the most expensive thing we have. And it dies to damage any target, which effectively puts them at a virtual 2. Yeah, still crashing in. They can do some blocks and get rid of the mayor here, but then they're just out of stuff. Gannett, your comment is exactly why I turned off punts. The thing I don't like about it is the endless discussion of, what is a punt? I just made a mistake. Let's move on. We're, you know... Who cares exactly how bad the mistake was or whatever? Let's see. Do we want to get a blocker out of the way? Given the big stuff we have coming, a blocker is as good as face. So I'm going to take out the 1/1. Given that I'm going to play Brawler here and Rejuvenator. See, how can you complain when you got more magic? Free magic, and I got people saying it's a punt. Played with my food a little bit, but we still got the win. Let us never speak of this again. I suppose knowing the Hound, we could have done it the opposite way and said, do you want to save the 1/1 or not? But then I don't think it mattered. Then they just saved the 1/1. Like, no matter what, those creatures were both going to survive. Yeah, we can keep this. No mana, no red for the Rada yet, but Woodland Champ into Spider is a fine start. Not really, Ugh. I was talking about that. I don't mind playing around with this type of thing here and there, but I much prefer R&D blessed formats, if you know what I mean. Professional game designers, having tested it, is a thing I like. Yeah, that's fair, Xanatos. We could have killed the other one instead. So yeah, probably should have done it that way. But I'm going to move on now. Let's focus on these Miscreants. I don't think these are very good either. I don't know how you draft Miscreants in a... like, this is remarkable, honestly. You should avoid Fairy Miscreants. Avoid cards that count other copies of it in a Chaos draft. And yet they still managed turn 1, turn 2 Miscreants. I mean, okay. Okay. These weren't good when all 3 of your packs were M20, or I shouldn't say that. They were rarely good. You could get enough of them to make it possible, like I've seen, but mostly this was not a thing. Yeah, Hammer, because everybody else drafted correctly. You can't convince me that it's correct to draft these. I guess you could. Like, if they show nothing but, like, flyer pumping and they got these last pick or whatever, okay, sure. That makes sense, Rilo. Or Milo Ren. Yeah, that's what I was just acknowledging, Gadan Moore. If you got the flyer pumpers and you got these super late, then I can totally get behind that choice. Forest is a bummer. Any red card and we get much better attacks here. I am willing to trade the Champ for the 2 Miscreants, though, so I'm just going to send in. But need some red here. Limited mana is so bad. Everybody should get 2 free OG duels for their limited decks. But, you know, not to keep, just to make this not happen every darn time. All right, well, now we are on the D. Fence, that is. Yeah, I got to be careful about telling people their cards are unplayable when I don't know their deck. You don't know what's going on, and they could have the Lord density to make it correct. Also, here we are losing to them, so there you go. But we're not losing to them as much as we're losing to our current mana situation. Hey, that's a good use for them. Sacrifice them to make better cards. Also classic. Mock a player's choices, get beat by those choices. But again, I don't think we're being beat by these as much as being beat by our own mana luck here. Could make a game of it if we were attacking back. But sitting and staring at Oppo doing stuff while we do nothing is not a recipe for wins. Yeah. Very funny, Magic Gods. Very miscreant on 1 and 2 in a Chaos draft. I can't even... That's like the worst thing that's happened to me in Magic in like a month. But we'll move on. Take it out on the next opponent. Maybe Swamp Lore, but if there's any sort of rank-based matchmaking happening, they must have some wins. But they could be 0-0 against my 3-0. That sometimes happens, I think. Yeah, I think Blue-White Flyers is a good choice for this kind of format. I just don't think 1-1 Flyers with very little upside and need extra copies of themselves are the way to do that. We're going to keep this despite no 2s. We at least have the Brute and some mana. I would actually grab bag. Chaos and grab bag. Hey, we got a 2. Nice. Generally mean the same thing. It means playing with a mix of boosters from a wide variety of sets rather than a prescribed normal WotC style format, you know? Now we've got a Bogart Brute on 3 with a Sure Strike backing up an attack on 4 with a pump and a Sure Strike. That could be very good. I don't want to send in... Even though we have Sure Strike that technically makes the attack okay, we want to use all our mana and develop the board, so we're just going to play Brute and pass. We don't want to be forced into using our first Sure Strike here. Yeah, combat tricks on Menace in general, right? Force that double block and then blow it out. Oh, you gotta watch out for the reverse blowout if they respond to your combat trick with removal. But yeah, with Sure Strike effectively making the Igneous Cur potentially 6 power of First Strike, I am willing to send in here, although I think if they block 1-for-1 on the Cur, I'll just pump the Cur and trade for either of those. I won't use the Sure Strike to save the Cur. And I don't, the Scorcher isn't a good play here anyway, so I like offering that here. They might decide they have to 1-for-1 the... No, that's not how that works. Gray? Yeah, so now that you know how it works, you should just put Fathom, Cutthroat, and Corpse on the Brute, because it's just a 1-for-1, right, Oppo? Just a 1-for-1. Just a 1-for-1. Go ahead and double block. All right, they want to do it that way. I will take the pump trade I expressed. We leave some mana unspent here, which is unfortunate. Love to spend all my mana when I can, but sometimes you don't. I am eventually going to talk about 17 lands data and stuff, and I don't feel I've done my homework properly to answer that AMA. But one of the things mentioned from the 17 lands representative on the limited resources episode was data-driven confirmation of the power of spending all your mana. That if you just look at the win-loss results, those who spend more mana tend to win more. All right, can't do anything to save our Brute, but we do get a Silverback next turn. No, Pocket Nebula does not, just looks at power. That hurt, and the Riddle Form could still do some damage to us over the course of the game here, but hopefully we find that the Shaman... I mean, I could play the Disciple now that we've drawn that, because we could actually fire off the Sure Strike on blocks, and then we would have guaranteed Vorse Claw next turn. But also Silverback getting going is just nice. I think we're just going to go Silverback here. That's Funny Queen. Going the oldest possible old school. Oppo Scry to the top. At least they spent all that mana on a Scry, which is not really what you want to be doing at this stage of the game, but unfortunately they kept on top. What are they gonna... What did they keep, we wonder? Alright, that's interesting. I still think we can just Vorse Claw here. And... although it looks like they're going to block with the Sea Serpent, so we can go Sure Strike, Disciple. It's only I'm going to attack first True if we decide that we're okay with that. First, I wanted to make sure, like, do we really want to play the Vorse Claw this turn, or are we okay with Sure Strike plus Disciple or Scamper? And I think we are okay with those, so yes, let's attack first. The Trample is nice. We'll get a little damage in. And I like Disciple over the Scorcher. Since these all have haste anyway, we can play this later and surprise them. Get some more mana. If we find a land, we can even activate this and make a dragon next turn. Yeah, I think they'll have GPs ASAP. Nice snag of our final two cards, but we're still in a space where if we find our basic land off the top, we get a dragon, so could be worse. No dragon, but we do get a Vine Mare, and Silverback has a good attack, and seems like we're still headed in the right direction here. Let's see, bottom on the Scry. Or maybe an ill-advised top. Yeah, it's good to note. Untargetable and can't be blocked by their current creature. Can be blocked by Riddle Form if they turn that into a creature, but I like that. All right, Silverback is dead, but Vine Mare tough to block, and Dragon incoming now. He kept that on top, but we got two lethal threats here. I believe I can do this at instant speed, right? So, yes, we've got all the tools to do this, and we can wait at their end step. Return up to... Yeah, that's not going to do it. We win target game, unless they find a land and a 1-mana instant or sorcery, or instant. I love the combo. Scholar into Grasp. Grasp is excellent, but we got just enough going here to get him dead. Two ways dead.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Not a profit celebration yet, but 4 wins is worth a hair toss, I think. By the way, I confirmed participation in Thursday's Sweatsuit Invitational again, so I'll be drafting Thursday afternoon again. Ugh, no 2 and not even a 3-drop creature, but again, perfect mana I can't throw back, and this is a nice top end to get to, so we're going to keep. 4 p.m. Pacific on Thursday. Come on, deck, give us some plays. Give us some plays. Alright, great. I was... Please don't make me Soul Seer a Sentinel or something. If that case, I would have waited till the end of their turn. But now we get to drop Rada. They may pick Rada right off, but I'm just glad to have a creature on curve. Infuriate coming. If we can live to untap, Rada should be fairly well protected with the Infuriate. Ooh, that's a good one, right? I think this is recurring. Yeah. I mean, we have the Soul Seer for it, and we can race. I'm so lucky that there was not a land on top, because to be honest, I totally did not look. I totally didn't look. Shh. Here, I guess we're sending in, and if they offer a... No, we got first strike, so send in. I'm going to go ahead and Soul Seer with shields down. I don't know if they have any Titanic Growths in their deck or whatever, but let's get this thing dead. And then we still have Infuriate up, too. They can get the Embrace back, of course, but it costs them. And they got to find a creature to put it on, all that stuff. Hopefully it gives us time to win the game. And they're stuck on 3, so that's great for us. I looked now, no land, unfortunately, so we're going to go ahead and Scorch, see what they can do about this. It does go shields down on Infuriate, but if they had 3 damage, they probably would have gone for it already. So I think they'll be top decking to find removal for Rada. Next turn, Titanic Growth plus Infuriate is nice to have at the ready. Vine Mayor coming next turn. Mayor of Windtown. I'm going to use Titanic Growth and keep it alive. Oh yeah, let's... hey, look! Wait, I'm going to see if it's lethal. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It is! Let's do that. But we could play with our food for a couple more turns. Think of all that lost value. All those extra turns of controlling a board we could have had. Right. I don't know, Nebula. We could have played more, but somehow people don't want to do that. I don't know. I'm just going with what chat wants. Definitely keeping. I think we go Druid on 2 because we don't have the tools right now to attack with Tranodon. And my default is always to cast my Rampers first unless I come up with a reason not to. Yeah, Noid. Doing better than I thought. Thought it was just okay, but it's hard to assess this format and how people are drafting it and what's good in it. That's the nature of Chaos Draft. It's all speculation on that type of front. And especially with now a 4-drop, we're going to drop the Druid, because we can actually play this next turn for effect. No 2 toughness, no 2 toughness. Yeah, alright. Alright. Crash in. Maybe. They could have a counterspell. Indeed, we are scattered to the wind. But next turn we have Rejuvenator and Drowsy Tea, and then if we find a land with Rejuvenator, Vorst Claw the turn after, and now it's guaranteed anyway. Well, I guess we still need, we have the double green even, so looking decent for the home team on this one too in terms of getting some big stuff out. And lower on green than red, so we'll do that. And get the tea. Yeah, True says this format is super weird for people who are used to Kaldheim and other complex sets. It's very draft fundamentals. Not only, I mean, core set tends to be draft fundamentals anyway, and this set in particular is extra fundamentally because of its chaos nature. Like often chaos drafts, even with complex sets, are fundamental because the synergies don't hook up. Just Vorsty here, sending in Drowsy Tea seems fine. Could also do Silverback. Again, the Trample is real. Trample might be better here, but this is going to be a 4-3. And this is going to be a 6-6. Let's go for the 6-6. Uh-oh. Well, you gotta get the Shaman down, and then, or maybe the, yeah, I guess we want the Shaman more than anything else. 6 power, 6 toughness. If they put everything on the Vorst Claw, they can have it. So, and then the Drowsy Tea trades with everything else anyway. Trades one for one with anything. So we'll send both. I mean, it hits your stuff too. I think it's medium, but it can wreck some decks. Pretty variable in how good it is. We got to face an Essence Scatter coming up. Do we want the Trampler or do we want if you kill this, I get 3 damage somewhere. Probably, actually, if you kill this, I get 3 damage somewhere. Yeah, I was thinking Shaman, but this is a pretty good one to have down in this situation. Makes it a 2/2 that's going to deal... You want the card draw value? That's fair. Okay. I don't know. I kind of like the potential face damage and potential removal. You know, we get to... We don't have much removal. So it's almost like, hey, do you want to resolve our removal while we can? That's what I was thinking. But I'll go with chat's desire to get the Shaman down. This is a nice collection of attackers here anyway. And if we come up with some weaker creature with all this mana, we may be able to bait the Essence Scatter off of a weaker creature. So, couple of reasonable blocks, but gonna go ahead and send these two. Maybe we send even the Tranodon if they want to use their Wave Crasher to eat the Tranodon. What are they doing about the 6/6 and the 4/3? So I'm kind of inclined to go ahead and send it all. And if they want to eat the Tranodon, that's good for us in this spot. And we kind of threaten a trick anyway, but they're not in a place where they can play around tricks. So really this is about being willing to have our Tranodon get et for the purposes of Vorse Claw and Shaman getting in. And just so, I am quite cool with that result. I'm less cool with not having a way to address the counterspell we know is right there. I think we just have to pass and try to overload the counterspell next turn. No sense just giving them the Pitchburn Devils. Especially because if we can land the Pitchburn Devils and they can't gain any life, then we've got the whole damned if you do, damned if you don't thing for them. Yeah, so we need a bait creature. We need a bait creature so we can land our Pitchburn Devils. That's a pretty good bait creature, right? So, and can we do it all? Yeah, we can barely do it all. What do we think of the Imp? Oh, this is totally playable. This is a good card. And yeah, we should swing first. No need to send the Druid, though. But we'll make him use the Imp on the Vorse Claw. It's got to trade for something. It's going to trade for that eventually. I want him to attack with a 4/4. Really, this is just about trying to get him to counter the Brawler. Yeah, disciplined play from Oppo, for sure. Oh, actually, DS Nordic is in chat. So DS might be stream sniping. I'm not going to call it stream sniping, but they are in chat. So DS, if you are here, I'm not going to assume you are. And if you're not hearing this anyway. But if you are, you're hearing this. You're lousy. It's really lousy to stream snipe. This is a hard thing I'm doing. And for you to effectively cheat at our game, is you should feel bad. But you're only hearing this if you're a cheater. If you're doing it right, then you're not even hearing this. And if you catch it on the replay later, thank you for not cheating. Let's see. So we can go. Yeah, oh, I saw them. They were there. Pretty sus when somebody comes up with an incredible read and they're in your chat. All right, all right. Soul Seer on the elemental. Like, trouble is we have a couple of tough things. We could. Well, we can't. This is why we think they're sniping, or they could be sniping Fresh. Is that they have Essence Scatter and declined to counter the Brawler, potentially knowing that we have a Devils. But I'm going to say no attacks, and I'm going to end the turn. I'm pretty disappointed in DS Nord. Seems like with their behavior of being in chat and then suddenly disappearing from chat when I start to call out the possibility. I don't know. That's an interesting attack. I'm going to let this happen. I mean, we could Soul Sear it, but we're trying to find our way to attack back. And see, this makes me want to. They left all this up. They left the Drowser up, despite. I guess they don't have anything to get with that. I kind of feel like we should get the Wave Crasher and make them come up with blocks on the ground. But I'm feeling like they have that, or else they would have not. They would have like cast a blocker or something. So. All right, this is a pretty good one. Let's see if I'm going to offer this. Like, I think they know we have the Devils, but let's see, because they can't counter this if they know we have the Devils. This is kind of funny. I'm going to start here, see what they want to, if they want to let this resolve or not. All right. Now I'm going to send the Brawler. Yeah, I almost feel like that pause was like, darn it, I have to counter that. There's no way they'll 100% know I stream sniped if I don't counter that. And that's true. Maybe they have a counter for this too, but we're going to find out, right? Value train is starting to pull away from us here, but that's a nice pickup. At least we get. I like send both. If they put elemental on Brawler, we can kill the. Hey, let's send both and see what they want to do. If they let the 1-2 through, we could win. Well, I'll tell you, if they weren't stream sniping, DS will probably come in right now and say, thanks, it was fun to play you, right? So if they show up and are nice and say hello and was just catching, you know, I was happy to play you on stream, they're probably innocent. If we don't hear from them right now, it's even more sus. Got it regardless. Good game, DS. We said, I'm glad to see you here, because that probably means you weren't sniping. We were wondering, because we were like, either this Oppo is really being disciplined about their counter magic, or they it was such a disciplined play when you didn't counter my my brawler that I went and looked, and then I saw you in chat, and then I called out, are you sniping? If you are, shame, but I did say, if not, good discipline. So I want to call out, though, that I did not presume. I left open the possibility. Interesting. This is rough, but we do have a druid. Trouble is we don't have red. We got to mulligan this. All right, this is a keep. And then probably Siegebreaker can go here. Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Then I salute your awesome play. And if you check out the replay, ignore the part where I scold and embrace the part where I say, good job on your discipline. Well done. But as a streamer, when someone makes an incredible play that would be explained by knowledge of your hand, and then they're in your chat, it always raises an eyebrow at the very least. I like how this mulligan hand is going, though. This is scary, but we have a 2-drop to do the blocks. The big, for now, maybe they kill this, but like, if you can block the 1/1 soldiers, then this is kind of just a 1/2 flyer for 2, which is whatever. But if they get this first attack and you don't have anything to start eating these soldiers, ooh, this is a great card. But with 3 mana, we could still be in trouble here. Let's see what happens. All right, we got a couple of ramp options here. I think we should just actually go with the one that's most expensive. Although if we do this, we do have Infuriate available. And Fencing Ace, we could block and eat that. So, and then we could trade. Yeah, I think we want Druid of the Cowl, since it eats 1/1 soldier tokens. And then we can potentially surprise a Fencing Ace and win that combat. So I'm going to do the Cowl. Oops. Well, here we go. I was trying to click through quickly, but we get it anyway. This is fine. This is what I wanted out of the Infuriate anyway. But I was going to try and do that on blocks. It worked out. All right, no land, but thanks to the Druid, we can drop the Vine Mare, and Hexproof, pretty darn good, but super scary. The Goblin Wizards could make Hexproof irrelevant if they can be pumped up to 3 power. So I'm going to send in the Woodland Champ and see what they want to do about that. Since Champ, there's like one card, there are 2 cards that make tokens here. Mostly, though, this is a bear, just a curve filler. But we'll go Vine Mare here. Yeah, Inspiring Charge would be rough. Can't really play around it. Unless we thought we could beat it on the crackback, which maybe we could consider that. But certainly we'll see if they send in the goblins, it's an eyebrow raiser of a different stripe. That's a nice trigger for these, but actually if Oppo goes for the equip, it clarifies the situation anyway. And we can just let the equipped one go through, and then the other one can't really attack. So yeah, I'm cool with this. Of all the results, this is at least above board on the table. We can fully react to it. They're tapped out, as opposed to wondering what is going to happen if they block. So we don't have anything to give us a big win here. They just give a single chump block on the Vine Mare, and we lose the Vine Mare to a token. That's not worth it. So we're going to develop our board here. And I'm going to do that with Rejuvenator, looking for some land. And I'm going to do it with all of our green sources, because then if I find... actually, it's not going to matter, right? This is going to enter the battlefield tapped. So nothing that's going to happen is going to actually give us anything to react with. But I still like... I mean, I could just play the Brawler. So yeah, given that that's not going to help, maybe I just play the Brawler here. Thing is, finding another land gives us like a sure shaman next turn. That's what I'm thinking about. Elemental. Well, I love it when I'm a little bit stuck and chat comes up with both opinions. Shows that it is indeed a not an easy choice. But given that a top deck of a land gives us the shaman anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play the Brawler. And hold off a turn on attacks, and then hopefully next turn have better looking attacks with Brawler up. Would love something to help us with this axed up wizard. Does not feel great to be in a spot where we're looking to trade a Vine Mare for a Goblin Wizard token. I mean, if they send that, I'm snap blocking with the Woodland Champ. Even if they can move the axe around or whatever. Fencing Ace with an axe is some business. And we don't have much inverse business here. Although Woodland Champ trades with everything. We can at least send Champ and Brawler. Is it attacking each elemental? So this attacks as a 4/4. And none of these are elementals, right? Yeah. Oh, Elemental Dog. So attack as a 5/4 if we wanted. But then it really hampers our development. I don't think we want to do that. I do like... You don't... What do you mean? This is a 4/4. We got an elemental here and an elemental here. So this would be a 4/4. And the champ... Since the Brawler doesn't trade with an axed up wizard 1-for-1, and the champ trades with everything, I like sending these two and these two alone. And we can just drop a Brute, or we can keep, you know, trying to do the Rejuvenator thing. I like Brute. I'm gonna go Brute. I don't know why they're not sending the Vanguard if they're not blocking. That's a good question. Well, now I'm going to go Leafkin Druid Cur. And then we'll set up nicely for our next turn. Pretty intimidating here. Just the first strike, 3 points of first strike is enough to wipe out any attacks we have, much less the double strike. How can Brute attack? They double block and the first strike just kills it. Just straight up kills it. That's all right. I barely read cards myself. All right, we got some mana now. We're going to get 2 out of there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total mana, which is still 1 under 2 spelling. But yeah, the Fencing Ace all by its lonesome is making things awkward, but we're going to drop the Shaman here and try to get wide enough to find some attacks, but we don't have them yet. Love to find one of our combat tricks, then we can start swinging. Already have 1 down, so what do we got, like 2 more? Got a Sure Strike and a plus a Titanic Growth on the tricks, and we do have just a straight up Soul Sear. If we find Soul Sear, that'll help too. Gonna have to do something though. I can't just sit here taking 3 in the air a turn. So something we might do could just be dying. That's possible, but hopefully we find a line that gives us a chance to win target game. Interesting. Well, that's maybe. I mean, we're at kind of do it mode. This is going to help the champ. And we'll at least run this out and see. Makes the champ a 4/4. If we leave Druid and Leafkin back, we could play the Rejuvenator after combat for a chumper on the ground for the Sentry or the Ace. I'm just trying to figure out how much we can attack with here, but we can't just sit here and wait to lose to the Flyer, so we're going to give up some creatures to attack. And I guess the 1/1s don't make a bunch of sense. They can just be eaten up pretty easily. But we can send these, right? Just send all of our biggest stuff and start to try to make some progress against the ground. If we send these, what happens? Because right now, Ace is going to eat our best thing, right? Like the Vine Mare, probably. And then Sentry might look to trade with the 4/4. That's where I would trade off for the champ. And then Magmut could just eat one of these for free. Arsonist could trade for one and kill the other. But it may be correct. I'm just going to go with these. Then we have blockers on the back end too. I was running out of time and I needed to make a call. And since I didn't quite have myself convinced that this was a good attack, I backed off and just sent the ones that were bigger and more troublesome. Good trades, at least, for everything but the Ace. Oh, they're going for that. That's a great block for us. I think they're going to switch. They're going to look at it and go, oh, nah, not this, not the Shaman. We should put that on the champ. That's fair, but I mean, I don't know what to do, True. Would you just sit back and wait to die to the flyer? I don't know what to do if not attack. I mean, we just got to get wide enough to get around that ace. Yeah, they put it on the flyer anyway. Makes sense. They can put both axes on it and get in for 6. I think we got a shot. Can't quite see through the tea leaves here. I don't quite know we're in somewhat of a no look. Like we're the pressure from the air and the presence of the axe really puts us on a 2-turn clock. So we really don't have choices in terms of we got to find some sort of pressure, and that's the pressure that made sense to me. Yeah, I'm not forgetting the Kerr activation, but our mana was busy last turn. For sure, we'll throw this here, though. Come on, deck. Something off the top to give us this game. Or it's a bad sign, Tron. Good game, Oppo. All right, full count. 6 and 2, looking for 7. But that's why I had to get in, right? Like we couldn't just sit there and lose to the flyer without at least trying to set us up to have a chance. Yeah, it shouldn't even have been that close, but they let up on the gas for some reason for a couple of turns there. All right, I like this. This could be a spot where we, especially with the Oppo Mulligan, where we might not do the ramper on 2, given that we have a 2-power attacker into a 4-power attacker if we just go with the attack-based curve out. But let's see what we draw. If there's some compelling 4-drop we want to get to, we could consider the Leafkin Druid, but the thing is we're not even ramping to anything on 4. Yeah, with nothing to ramp to right now, although we could ramp to Champ plus Kerr, but Kerr's not even great early. This is really at its shines when you have some extra mana to make it like a 7, threaten a 7 whatever. 7-2. So I am going to go with the Champ into Ogre and see if we can just put some early pressure on that helps us get there. All right, Oppo doing nothing on 2 is a good sign for us. And we will follow with Ogre. And then we get Kerr Druid on 4 anyway. And frankly, if we draw one of our top end, one of our 6 drops, the Leafkin Druid's ramp is still relevant. Hello, Rada. Ooh, look what I almost did, but then stopped myself because of what I drew. Pull that back, Ryan. We can go Rada and find a land off the top to play. Champ has no attack here. Ogre does. Let's start there. Wow, quite a land clump, but Rada is really helping with that. Effectively, Rada has drawn us 2 cards now. You think it's a weird no block? I don't know. Maybe they have more of these and that's their plan or something. I don't know. Got 2 spell here, and I still like the Rada Ogre attack. If they have tricks, they might take out Rada, but let's make them do it. I can live with that. It's not, I mean, we got 2 for 1 via the card advantage, but I like that we're still applying lots of pressure here. We got Siegebreaker coming up that's going to make it tough for Oppo to block. If they can't kill this, I mean, 6/3 trample that taps a defender. This never did too much in M19, as I recall. It was just a little misplaced for the format. But in this more chaos draft situation, I'm liking it's generically good for classic creature attack block style play. But with the mountain, we threaten Rada pump anyway. And this becomes must block to the point that I'm sending everything but our mana. Aha! So they had to do that, or they were in big trouble. At the very least, we get to keep playing lands for free off the top, if I can remember to look. And we have attacks. No attack. Well, we do have 1, 2. Yeah, we do have 1 pump. So I'll send the Cur and pump, trade and pump if they want. Fresh Doogie says, "Wait, I say if we can trade here and then drop a 6/3, we're super happy." And looks like we can. This is must kill. This is unfortunate. We're a bit floody here, but floody is okay if they don't have the tools to stop what we've got. This is suspicious. 6 mana, 4 cards. I'm kind of expecting another capture sphere, but again, at least we can activate the ability. Let's make them have it. See what they got. I don't know about run a short. Well, probably. I mean, I don't know. This is 3 sets worth. I'm assuming there's all the usual blue-white instant speed tools are available to Oppo. It could be deal X damage to an attacking or blocking creature. It could be bounce. It could be totally lost. Right? Yeah. Well, there you go. Does that qualify as a run ashore type card? It's a run ashore type card, everybody. This is not the worst, though. As far as Sublime Epiphanies go, that was a good one. Which is to say, not super impactful. Or perhaps not super impactful relative to how impactful this card can be. It was pretty impactful. Yeah, that's saying something, right? They drew a card and bounced our 6 power, and that was like the worst epiphany we've ever seen. Infuriate coming up next should be interesting, although Epiphany is going to have something to say about that. We could rejuvenate and then it goes away, though. Do we want that? You say GG. Oh yeah, right. We do have. Well, we don't know what they have here. I'm going to presume they've got something, but we'll try. We'll try. I presume not, but let's try. Thanks, Siriana. Hopefully maybe it ends right now. What you got, Oppo? How about twice? Yeah! Look at that, gang. All right, what we've learned today is that being vaccinated is good for your Magic game. That's the only conclusion I can draw. I mean, Tron, it's science. Tron doesn't believe in science, folks. All right. See, I'm backed up by a scientist. Well, did you get the Pfizer vaccine? Maybe it's the Pfizer vaccine that makes you better at Magic. That would still be very scientific. Ah, we figured it out. Okay. Tron believes in science again. All right. Well, I believe I have a pile up of stuff that is now screaming at me to get it done, given that I took some time off to figure out how to get vaccinated. So I am not going to send you to our friend Marshall today. I'm going to give Hat back his dough, and we're going to find, is Luis streaming? That's what he's been doing these days, kind of streaming ahead of Marsh, but it looks like he's not doing that today. So we will figure it out. What is Autumn? Autumn's usually, I love Autumn's play, but Autumn is usually playing Constructed. So yeah, Autumn, Lily, if you want to see some excellent Constructed, go watch them play on Autumn, Lily, MTG, but I'm going to find someone playing Limited to send you to. Lavinius. Semulin won the last Sweatsuit Invitational. Maybe you can go ask him about that. Lord Tupperware is going. Lord Tupperware's got a good crowd. Let's send you to somebody who could use some guests. Metal Mario has 0 viewers, which means Mario probably just started. I'm going to send you to Mario. Probably means you'll get in on a draft right away, and it'll help start up his audience. So let's do that. Stick on board. I haven't even said goodbye to YouTube yet. Let's do that while we pile up this raid. I'll make it a single goodbye this time. Thanks so much for hanging out. Good start to this short week for me. And thanks for all your help in chat. And good one. We'll see if this format continues to win the voting, but a nice start to the week. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, YouTube friends. Say hi to Mario for me, and we'll catch y'all tomorrow.